This happened when I was pursuing my master's in history during my last semester in 2014. I was never really a bright student. Also, I was lazy and never really studied. And even if I did, I was never able to concentrate while studying. But I always managed to get through and clear all my papers when the results came out. My friends always thought I was a bookworm, since I surprisingly always get good grades. However, I always assure them that I never really studied for exams. They don't believe me. I give credit to my brilliant professors who are able to present hard-to-understand paragraphs in a very understandable way. They paint pictures with words, and I guess I have a very good imagination. Too good that sometimes I wish I didn't have that ability. One night while I was staying up late, preparing for one of my papers, historical methods, during my final semester, as usual, I wasn't able to concentrate, so I was browsing through YouTube and was watching these amazing guitar cover videos. I am also a guitarist, not a good one though. I have an acoustic guitar which I always place in a particular corner in my room, opposite to where my bed is positioned. When I wake up and open my eyes, in the morning or in the middle of the night, the first thing I see is my guitar looking at me from the corner of my room. Anyways, while I was still preparing for my paper due the next day, or rather pretending to study for the exam, I came across a video on YouTube entitled Sleep Paralysis. I clicked on the video and ended up watching the whole video. Terrifying but interesting. I was also a stern believer in the paranormal, as I have had a fair share of first-hand paranormal experiences. It was about 1 a.m. when I decided to head to bed and call it a night. I instantly fell asleep. However, I was woken up by an unfamiliar sound from the room. It kinda sounded like a woman mumbling inaudible words. I checked my phone and it was around 3:10 in the morning. I closed my eyes again and immediately heard mumbling again. I was confused. I opened my eyes and, like I mentioned earlier, the first thing I'd see is my guitar on the opposite side of my room. It was in the corner as usual, but this time, however, it looked like its neck appeared thicker. The mumbling sound was gone and I thought maybe I was too tired and maybe my mind was playing tricks. As I closed my eyes for the third time, I suddenly remembered that my younger brother had borrowed my guitar for the night, so the guitar was upstairs in his room. Realizing this, I was terrified. I didn't dare open my eyes to confirm whether I was seeing things. The same mumbling sound was heard, but this time it sounded like it said, "Hell is well," whatever that meant. I opened my eyes and that's when I felt paralyzed. I was sleeping sideways and I froze. I couldn't move my body at all. The dark shadow in the corner, which I thought was my guitar, was moving now, moving towards me. It was crouched down in the corner and seemed like it was floating towards me. This was the most terrifying experience I've ever had in my life. I tried to scream but my voice was mute. I could open my mouth but no sound came out. The dark shadow now was inches away from my face. Apart from the silhouette, which I then noticed it was that of a woman's with wavy, messy hair. No other features were visible except for the eyes. It had human eyes. I tried to move forcefully, applying all my might, but it was impossible. I felt I was bound tightly in thick chains. At that moment, I closed my eyes and thought this is all just a nightmare. The next moment, I don't know how, suddenly I was filled with rage due to the fact that I was not getting any sleep, and the fact that I had to appear for my exam later that day, and this thing is responsible for all of this. Fear was then overpowered by anger, and this seemed to give me strength, and I was able to move. My voice returned to the point that my tone was deafening. Apparently I had screamed and slanged multiple times. My dad ran to my room and checked on me. I was embarrassed at the fact that I had cussed out loud, but on knowing the whole story, he didn't seem to mind. Ever since that day, I never experienced sleep paralysis ever again. Maybe the solution to end sleep paralysis experiences is to channel your anger and frustration so it overpowers your fears. So you can try this the next time you experience sleep paralysis.